So it was just like any other day that I decided to go out for lunch. The bell had rung and everyone went out into the cafeteria with their money and their food. Well, me and the boys decided to go into town for our lunch. That's normally what we do all the time. We always go to Walmart, which is about a 5-minute walk away, and normally have time to get our food, mess around for a bit, and walk back just as the bell rings every single time. Well, this time, we had something called tutorials that was going on. Now, in case you don't know what that means is that lunch was extended for about an hour. This was because the teachers wanted to give the students more time to finish their work, so they took the block after lunch to get that done. Well, I didn't really have anything to do, well, nothing that I cared to do at least at the time, so while everyone else went and left to do their tutorial stuff, I decided to stay behind with Walmart, seeing that there was no real reason to go back yet. So I stayed at Walmart. I took my time with my drink and my food, which typically consisted of potato chips and Pepsi. My usual everyday diet, it seemed. Still don't know how I'm alive and not dead from diabetes. Anyway, I decided to explore around a little bit, and I started going down aisles that I've really never been to before. I had about 50 minutes left before I had to go back. 50 minutes of anything I wanted. So I decided to take that time and go somewhere I've never been before in the Walmart store. I decided to go to the back alley. A very smart idea, I know. But it was, in my bored mind, it was the only thing I could do, really. Plus 15 minutes meant I could, well, look around and see what I could find back there. From what I hear, it's typically not visited very often, aside from the homeless, the hobos, and the druggies, and the drunks. But because it was in the middle of the day, I felt relatively safe. So after finishing my Pepsi, I decided to stand up and take a walk back there. And, well, safe to say it was exactly as I had expected. Empty, wide open, garbage, and just a few dogs barking here and there once in a while. Because Walmart was directly in front of a neighborhood house. So there's a few people who had dogs and houses there. So as I was making my way back there, I noticed that I heard the grass and the bushes rustle a little bit. It wasn't anything new. I thought it was probably the birds or maybe one of the neighbor's dogs had escaped from their yard. So I kept moving, and once I made it to the back alley, I took a seat. I looked at the time. 40 minutes. I had 40 minutes left, so I decided to sit down and take a little break. That was when I noticed that someone was walking. They had their hood completely covering their faces. The strings were pulled so that it was all scrunched up in the face. They were walking in an extremely odd manner that was not unlike a monkey. So I kept going, and I mostly ignored them. That wasn't until they started following me. In a panic, I decided to hide in the bush. They lost me and they just kinda kept shambling along in the back alley. That was eventually until they caught sight of me again and they heard me. After that, after they'd caught my scent, they decided to start chasing after me, and I've never ran so fast out of a back alley before, and I knew that it was a bad idea. Ever since then, I've never been to that same Walmart ever again.
Don't like this. I think I see something. What is that? Oh shit!